Well, Friday is here. It has been an amazing Friday where we have whizzed through. I've become a business mogul this week. We have laughed. We have been shocked, at least I have, with the degeneracy that apparently some human beings are up to across the world, particularly in Japan. Mr. Masochist says hi as we've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, but also just the constant relentless meme of the week following our method video of reacts upon reacts upon reacts upon reacts upon reacts, which has now become a hall of mirrors of nightmares of content creators with thumbnails that just seems to stretch on to infinity and beyond with that entire... I worked hard to get us down to a tight 12 minutes, and I think Max's one is now at 2 hours. Sco's was like an hour plus. Our thoughts are now like an hour. And then Scripe's joining in now. We'll be looking forward to that one. As to whichever that goes to. More and more react to all things. It's been a hell of a week. But we're here, of course, for drama time. As it's time to celebrate the weird and wonderful things that we encounter in our online daily lives with other wonderful people. Not saying these people here, these are all good people, because they tune in on a Friday at 4 p.m. here on YouTube or Twitch. They tune in to have a wonderful time and regale us. As I get my hammer nice and ready. We've got several stories in front of us that have been provided. Obviously, our stories are sent into drama@preachgaming.com, including a response to one of the unusual stories, actually the most wholesome stories, in a way. One of the most relatable, I think is the word I'm looking for. Relatable stories we had in Drama Time with the girls-only Discord. So we'll be getting to that shortly. But Bex actually thinks that we would... very much be entertained, looking at her notes here, by this one here. So I think we'll start with this to get the ball rolling. It's because the title mentions swamp people, and she has chosen from our wonderful website supporters who support me and the team in what we do here, with Crooker to be the star of this one. Do we need... Oh, we need a couple of guild names from you guys. But before you start typing them out, this game is not World of Warcraft. We are heading to a game I'm very interested in. Its sequel, maybe. People keep giving me mixed signals, I should say. It is Ark Survival Evolved. The dinosaur taming game, which I imagine we've had a story from Ark before where people were incredibly cruel, and devious. Yeah, it goes. You can see here the duality of trash game, good game. Trash game, good game going there. So we need two guild names. One of them should be something like a business. So something professional, corporate maybe. And the second guild should be something that's more mafioso in operation. More mafiosos. Nancy's Claw Crew. I think this makes sense. As the corporate one should be Ichiban Holdings. And Nancy's Claw Crew. I quite like that, actually. Nancy's Claw Crew, which would be the mafioso type team. No, we're not talking about cans ever again. We're not canning. No, thank you. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with our tales for today. Mikey, Bex, and of course, everybody who's watching and listening to us right now. I want to thank you for reading my story, though listening to it back triggered a bit of PTSD. Regarding... oh, so it's the same author who sent us the other Ark story. I see. Tammy the Raptor. It seemed like people enjoyed the story I told, so I figured, well, it's time that you guys got the full evil saga that actually took place. I am here to tell you today of the time I returned to Ark and the madness and horrors that ensued trying to get back in. Yeah, the grass is always greener. The return is sometimes fantastic and then sometimes not too good, but here we are. For those of you... we've got a catch-up here. For those of you who didn't hear my last story, my first experience with Ark was, how should I put it, horrific. Between the endless grinding, the heartbreak, and all the game-ending bugs... Oh, I remember right. Tammy the Raptor got bugged during a guild change and just couldn't be owned by anyone, so they had to watch it die of starvation. Am I accurate on that? I believe that is what happened to Tammy the Raptor. Is it became like not untamable, but it couldn't have an owner. And it literally just stood there and starved to death. Yeah, and they just had to watch it. Yeah, I totally remember that. following this obviously tragic demise of one of my favorite pets, I had fully sworn off the game and had no intention of going back. But then I found one of the darkest recesses of the internet, a private server. Mike, audience, it wasn't just any ordinary server. It was a professional server, a curated server, a moderated server. It was invite only. It had custom modifiers that made taming, grinding, and pretty much everything else that really sucks in Ark less shitty. It was still shitty, don't get me wrong, but it was less shitty. That's what I wanted. That was the problem I'd had the first time, and it was going to be not a problem now. I sat and debated. I did like the game, though. And my rose-tinted glasses, and ignoring the better judgment that was sounding off in my brain, all I could think about was, I really like dinosaurs. I really, really like dinosaurs. So, me and two of my friends from the old guild, yep, that one that died tragically, put in full 3-page long detailed applications to be invited to the private server. Jesus Christ. It took 9 days to be assessed, but then it happened, my friends. We were granted access to Utopia. Let me set the stage for you, my friends. The server had a big streamer presence. Even I am put off being on a streamer server. What does that tell you? Being on a streamer server legitimately puts me off, despite the fact that I can do collabs and shit like that. I'm legitimately put off by being on a streamer server. Would you ever play on a server that like Asmon was playing on? Like, ain't no way, right? You're just not going there. There just ain't no way. Like, I would just, if that, like, just fucking never, right? Absolutely not. Depends on the streamer. It can do. I happen to think we run pretty good communities, but I think every streamer believes that. But generally, I think ours is pretty good and only brings positives, right? We run events. We run community events and parties, and we try and do those kinds of things whenever possible. I think we generally do all right. When I got there, I found that tons and tons of the people playing there were just there because the streamer was there. I didn't care about that at all. I just wanted some goofy-ass dinosaur roleplay. And I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart, everyone listening to this. I do not mean ERP. Why did you bring it up? Because now all we think about is that you roleplay fucking a dinosaur. Like, if you'd not said anything, we wouldn't... Yeah, if you hadn't said anything, we wouldn't have thought that. But you brought it up, and now that's what we think you do. I swear to you all, I was just hyped to tame some big dinosaurs and then do some silly RP with them like we were running Jurassic Park or something. The server was running in seasonal mode. Each time the server would wipe, everyone would start fresh with new characters and tribes. And let me tell you, the few seasons I played in were some of the funniest, most wild, and most memorable experiences I've ever had in all of video gaming. So, sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy when it all went wrong. And I would like to begin with Season 1, Bad Forbidness. I click the login screen and I spawn on a beach. Sand in my hands, a salty breeze in my weirdly shaven head, and dreams of grandeur in my heart. By the time I joined, 2 major tribes already controlled the server. A Cult and Ocean Tribe, both run by big streamers and their followers. Now, I didn't want to just jump in and like lick the streamer toes, So I struck out to create my own little path in life, my own little tribe in a corner of this world. I wanted to make a business-themed tribe. That was my point with roleplay, with my buddies. Just the three of us, you know? And we had big plans. We were going to become arms dealers. That's what we wanted to be. And we called ourselves Ichiban Holdings. Maybe it was because of my last experience with Ark and Tribes getting screwed over by bugs and griefers. But I wanted something that was a little bit morally grey in the roleplay world. Not evil, but we would be opportunistic. A real little goblin of a character. Now you're probably thinking, how the hell can three guys outproduce arms compared to massive streamer tribes? And we had one advantage that the streamer's followers didn't have. We had no lives. We noticed that the streamer followers would only be online if the streamer was live, and then they would kind of just disappear, giving us a clear advantage. We built our headquarters atop the ruins of our old base from the previous server. It was a tribute to our fallen friends. Well, fallen dino friends, of course. Tammy, the King of New York, Petunia. If only they could have seen what we were building now. Our new base was a giant metal tower, painted the most obnoxious blue you can imagine. It blotted out the sun and was dotted by automated turrets that constantly shot people who got too close. Even the roleplay mailman. Because yes, we had a lot of resources. We had lots and lots of goods. You see, very quickly, people were moving away from the streamer server stuff. And more people were pulling into our little humble enterprise. And those people were the Giga Nerds. They were workhorses. I somehow managed to convince our first recruit into farming stone for 5 hours because I didn't want to. Once he caught on to the fact that I was just being lazy, he told me to go fuck myself as he had worked so hard. And naturally, from that conversation, we became really good friends that would dupe the next trial into farming stone for us instead. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Right? Yeah, totally. Like, I just cut my ass. Well, here comes the new guy. Shh. Bro, we really need some stone, though. Yeah, man, we're working on, like, really important shit over here. Really important shit. Can you get the stone for us, mate? Can you get the stone? I know it's your first day in that, but can you just get the stone for us, mate? But that dedication to farming, and I mean endless farming, ran through our whole tribe. We had dedicated tamers, dedicated farmers, dedicated builders. We were an elite crew of no-life sweaty degenerates. So, considering we had all these resources, my friends, it was time to sit down at the negotiating table. We started making deals. Weapons, ammunition, metal, you name it. We somehow started, if not outproducing, the vast tribes of the streamers, competing with their amount of resources, and our RP was on point. We were winning. Now then. Here we go. Now then. This server, like all servers, especially ones that are moderated like this, had rules. These rules were what separated us from the mud people, the barbarians, the swamp of public servers. And while I had at some point read the rules, it didn't quite fit my RP. Because I was role-playing as an opportunistic, underhanded goblin bastard, right? And the line between villainous behavior and rule breaking, well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I clearly crossed that line a few times. We thought it would be in the best interests of the server, you see. I wanted to stir the pot, so to speak. Create demand for our services, as any good goblin would. There was a small tribe nearby, full of super lovely, nice people. Those people were creating artwork for people's buildings. They named all their dinos the cutest names. Snuffles, Cutie Pie, Fluff Feet, all of those things. So, I got close with one of their members. But what annoyed me was that they were starting to get real friendly with one of our rivals. That didn't sit well with me. I can't have that. Now, I know that some of you are going to judge me as a hypocrite. And I want to say, I know. I am a hypocrite. My entire time on the general server was dominated by my fear of griefers. And it was ruined by one of the biggest griefers I've ever met in gaming. But I thought to myself in the meantime, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. And it turns out that it took me 2 weeks to become a hero, to change from hero to villain. So under the cover of night, we decided we were going to break into their base. Now, I want to tell you we did minimal damage. We just wanted to do enough to spook them, that's all. Not set them back by any means. And while we were doing this, well, there's no other way of me typing this to you, Mike, planted something there that came from another tribe. We know the game shows tribe names on crafted items. And it worked perfectly. When they logged in to find their base ransacked, they were so pissed at the other tribe. They were fucking so angry, as this had broken and violated the rules of what was allowed on this server, but they had been victims to it. And you know what they did? Well, you'll never guess who they came to for help in this rule-breaking scenario with now their base was at risk. That's right, straight to Ichiban Holdings. And us, as humble little arms dealers, were more than happy to supply them with the resources they would need to properly defend themselves from these encroaching enemies, from the enemy at the gate, hiding. I admit, it worked too well, and it made me feel guilty. I genuinely, and I swear to all of you hearing this right now, I really did feel guilty when I received the message that they had been attacked and they needed help from us, and then paid us for our services. They were friends. I had talked to them a lot. It's actually true that about 12 months after I did this, one of them actually came and visited the US on vacation, and we met up in person. Now, I did tell them, once we were face to face, the truth. I felt it was important, now that we had broken through the internet barrier, that I confess. Luckily, it had been so long and they had moved on so much that they thought it was really funny, so bullet dodged. But like all great schemes, and because our first little ploy had worked so well, we got greedy. We couldn't help ourselves. It was so simple. How could we not just yearn for a little bit more? Surely we could just do this again, right? How could we not? No one suspected us the first time, so why would they the second time? All we had to do was make sure that no one saw us doing it. There was another tribe, a pretty new one that had popped up and was trading dinosaurs. No. No. This is not okay. Because while we were mostly dealing in arms, we were starting to expand our branch of elite tamed dinosaurs, and we couldn't have a competitor on the island while we were still getting underway. So, under the cover of night, we led every single one of their rare dinosaurs off a cliff. That's really mean. Doesn't it take like hours to tame certain dinosaurs in that game? Like literally hours to do it? I mean, just to give that context, it takes literally hours to tame dinosaurs. Not anymore. I mean, still, he said it was less shitty, but still pretty shitty. So you have to imagine this is, if it's multiple of them, it's probably a lot of time investment to get collection of dinosaurs to trade, right? It's not going to be like a 10-minute job. I once again felt guilty when they logged on to see all their stock was gone and dead. They stopped playing. Now, in my eyes, I did feel guilty, like I say, but in fairness, our role play was to be the bad guys. How much of a shield is role play? Really? I know we have a bunch of RPers in the chat, right? I have good respect for the role-playing world, but how much of a shield is it to be such dick and just say, well, that's my role-play character? Do you know what I mean? Like, that feels like you can't just go, it's, it feels like it's the internet equivalent of it's just a prank, bro. Right? Do you know what I mean? It's not one. It doesn't excuse ruining people's time. Yeah, I find time such a valuable resource. It really is. Like, time per day is such a valuable resource to me that this is why I stopped playing things like Minecraft and stuff when we reset. Like, I just can't get that time back. And it's not going to happen. Ain't no way. That's just legit griefing. All right, we'll see. The role play was to be the bad guys. We wanted people to be mad at us. We wanted to fight back. But I tell you all, listen to this now as I type it out. I know it was not cool. I had become a monster and the type of person that I would have hated just a few weeks ago. What made it worse, someone told on us. They found out. Now, that's kind of what we wanted to happen. We would have some stigma, we would have some back and forth, maybe we would have a war, something like that. I expected, once they found out, some fun RP retribution from the various tribes where they dispersed to. Instead, though, they did something else. They reported us to the server admins. They told mom. I love that. No, dude, we're just going to tell mom. Yeah, they just told mom. Like, that was it. We're telling mom. Fuck you, dude. I'd have done the same. Like, I don't know what game you guys are playing, but we literally joined this server and agreed to the rules to prevent exactly this bullshit. Like, literally the reason we're here and we made applications is because we don't want to deal with, like, people just wrecking our shit when we're offline, right? The server admins sent us an official warning. If we did anything like that again, we were being removed from the server. This was also worsened by the fact that only a day before, we had already goofed. Oh, you dickheads. You got so greedy. You'd literally back-to-backed 2 server-breaking rules in 24 hours. You see, we thought it would have been really funny to break into one of the main streamer's bases, and we left a note in his personal chest that read, "You need better protection, hire us." How would I have reacted to that? You know what? You probably would have got the reaction you wanted from me. I would have found that kind of fun and played into it. But that's a risk. That is a risk. I honestly thought it would work, but unsurprisingly, he absolutely hated the betrayal. So, they didn't hold it against us and we cooled off, we played nice, and we rode out the rest of the season milling along. You wouldn't even notice? Yeah, probably. Do you think, genuinely, little side step here, do you think somebody has gone out of their way in one of the MMOs or games we play to try and leave some message for me or some sort of thing they're trying to get going, and I've just never noticed? There's actually a really, really good chance that has happened. And like somebody has been sat in like the stream or something waiting for it to like actually occur and happen. And it's just never happened because I've just got on my shit. I mean, you see how I am. Like, it's not hard to contact someone, you know, Bex, Chris, Nups, whatever, and give them the elbow, like, you know, get Mike to check this out. Like, that's what the crawlers do if they're doing the quest or whatever, is like, just let him know we're going to do a thing and we'll get into it. I don't need to know what it is. Just point me in the right direction and I'll get there, right? The server broke out into war between the streamer tribes, which is obviously why they were there in the first place. We played both sides, so we kind of stuck to our RP. We fueled both of them with arms, ammunition, you name it, and the chaos that was going on. It was honestly a blast, and we weren't too salty that our ideas had been hampered earlier on. But then Ark became Ark. In the middle of our war, it glitched out and forced an end to the season. Wow, this is awesome. Can you imagine if you were playing Foxhole or something like that and you were like midway through the war and the server just fucking died and that was it? It was over. Like, you just made inroads. You'd built this massive base. You got the big cannons online, whatever. If you guys haven't played Foxhole, you should Google some of the videos on Foxhole. It happened recently. What, in Foxhole? Did that happen? It's a legit game, by the way, but it is a pure logistics game. Although it is war, it's pure logistics. It's interesting. Well, that was my villain arc, and I wanted to move on next season to something a little bit more wholesome. I'm interested. Can you write in what happened there, Cat Salad? I'm very interested to see what happened with Foxhole. I wanted redemption for my evil ways, right? I needed to make amends. Maybe make a few actual friends and not just piss everyone off. So I decided I would roleplay as Santa Claus. But not just a normal, floppy, red-hatted, jolly Santa Claus. I was going to run the Santa Claus who ran a death arena. A Santa Claus that runs a death arena? That's a bit of a twist. Does Mrs. Claus approve? Santa Claus that runs a death arena. Okay. By the daytime, I would run the arena, and by night, I would fly up to a workshop in the new snow biome that was added and make people presents. Yes, I was being a complete kiss-ass to make up for what I did last season, but our death arena was legit fun. Me and my friends built a massive coliseum and hosted wild events, raptor fights, dino joust, death matches. I even had a billboard other tribes could rent out for advertisements, as well as making VIP boxes where you could press a button to release more raptors mid-fight. Blood spilt and presents were delivered in earnest, and people joined our numbers. And you know what? It felt like we were making a good name for ourselves with our roleplay. With our roleplay. It was really cool, and my reputation seemed to be rebounding. Okay. During this time, one of our new members joined up, and he was going to be key for what happened later in the season. Crooker. We've been close ever since, and he's even coming to my wedding this fall. Being the Santa Death Arena man won me some really goodwill with other members of the server, and all went pretty smoothly for a time. So, with the goody-good server behind me, me and my friends wanted to go back to being villains because it was boring being nice. Everybody wants to be the heel. Everybody wants to be the heel every single fucking time. Everybody wants to be the bad guy. But this time, we were going to be upfront about our villainous ways. We decided to form a mob family. A mob family called Nancy's Claw Crew. We were going to live in luxury on the mountain peaks in an enormous mansion where we would tame killer birds and we would drop people off ledges. It was one of the most impressive structures I have ever seen built in Ark, and I was beyond proud to call it our base of operations. Pfft, you haven't seen what the fucking crawler gang built in Dune. They built a city with a giant turtle in it. We reached out to the remaining streamers, told them up front about our RP goals, and promised to play fair as a mob. We weren't going to grief. We weren't going to do any unauthorized raiding of other people's bases. Just good, clean villainy. As we made the transfer and finished the structure, we ran into an obvious problem. I don't know what good, clean villainy is in Ark. Yeah, I don't know. God, I think we should play. By this point, the server was starting to lose population. It was shrinking. A lot of the main streamers were done with their content and had left, leaving behind one big streamer tribe that had almost every remaining player all part of it, and we were their number one enemy, because there wasn't really anyone else. Okay. We were massively outnumbered, massively outgunned, and struggling to keep up. It turns out when you play by the rules, it is way, way harder to hold your own against overwhelming odds. We had people joining the server just to mine up a ton of materials, deliver it to the big mega tribe, and then disappear. That sounds like bots. No? Does that not sound like bots? Who would join an Ark server to farm and then disappear? Does that sound like bots? Meanwhile, we were getting harassed constantly. I can't even blame them. We were the designated villains. It was legal to fight us. People do that? Huh. There's no bots in Ark. Fair enough. We had made ourselves the designated villains. It was legal to fight us. And on a server with rules against open combat and griefing, we were just blood in the water. Karma had caught up and we put ourselves on the spot. Until Crooker had an idea. Crooker said we couldn't beat them in open combat or beat their numbers. But what if we made a super weapon? A super weapon? In Ark? We're just going to nuke them? Call it good? It turns out Crooker had a bit of an odd side to him. And he had been cooking up some real supervillain shit. This guy, I don't think he even slept. He made the grinding and farming from our arms dealer days look like baby mode. I would log off for a day and come back to thousands of resources, dozen new dinosaurs. He was our war effort on his own. The only reason we had any chance to stand up to the mega tribe was in good part due to what he did. And then came his magnum opus, the Death Quetzal. Does that mean anything to anybody? The Death Quetzal? That sounds like a hot, spicy challenge. The Death Quetzal. That sounds like some sort of just really spicy potato chip or something like that. Quetzalcoatl is a large bird. It's a big... okay, so it's the same as the Quetzal we'd seen in other games. Mike, you probably don't know what the Quetzalcoatlus is. It's basically a pterodactyl on steroids. They're about as large as a giraffe and can fucking fly. They are enormous. In game, they're basically flying fortresses. Crooker built Ark's equivalent of the Death Star. He encased a max level Quetzal. I'm going to need someone in chat here to give us relevance to how much of an effort this was. He encased a max level Quetzal in a solid cube of metal, strapped it with a dozen or so auto turrets, and got it flying. Nothing could kill it. Nothing. The damn thing was an airborne metal box of death. And even if you broke through the shell, the dinosaur underneath had way too much HP for it to matter. How the hell does this even work? Yeah, it sounds like a Borg cube, doesn't it? Max level takes longer to tame, so taming it was a task on its own, I'd assume. That's on an unofficial server. Yeah, it shouldn't. How the hell does it even work? Have you got a screenshot? I would love a screenshot of this fucking thing. Does it look like it's a mobile base? It's awesome. Jesus Christ. None of the other Mega Tribe could even damage us. The Mega Tribe was now on the back foot. It was legit one of the most busted things I've ever seen in a video game. It was so unkillable. It was so fucking stupid that it got banned from the server. Like that. Our ultimate weapon, the only thing still keeping us relevant in the war, was just deleted by the admins. No. I mean, it kind of makes sense because that does not sound intended at all, right? It sounds like Crooker was like, no shit, this actually works on this server. No fucking way, dude. And just like, yo, fun detected. I mean, is a completely unkillable fucking death machine that fun in a war? Here's a rough idea of what it looks like. Okay, we found a Reddit thread. Holy shit! Okay, I don't even know how to describe this to our audio listeners. Let me bring this up here on the screen. Jesus Christ. Bex, can you save that Reddit link and put it in at least the YouTube description? I know we can't add it to Spotify or whatever, but if you check the YouTube link with this drama time, you'll see a picture of it. What we're looking at is a giant mega red pterodactyl that straight up has a base on its back covered in turrets. And I think these are other dinosaurs. It's like supporting other dinosaurs on top of it as well. It's like a landing pad at the same time. Yeah, holy fuck. That's more literal than I thought it would be. Yeah, that is a monolithic beast. That is just it's an airborne aircraft carrier. It's basically that Marvel fucking floating aircraft carrier bullshit. It also looks really fun though. I've got to say, that looks like really fun to mess around with and fly around. We woke up and the admins just straight up deleted it. And once more, it was 6 of us remaining versus at least 100 of them. And we had no more Death Quetzal. Still, for a few wonderful days, we kicked some fucking ass, baby. And after being stomped and outnumbered for so long, it felt good to finally push back. Nancy's Claw crew was defeated. And the season came to a close. Okay, hang on. I'm being linked to something by Bex here with a timestamp. Oh, here. Oh, this is a video of it actually flying. We'll link all this in the YouTube chat. Holy shit. That is horrifying. That is actually horrifying. This is a different variation of it that's got like UFO. This is a UFO. Man, you guys all keep saying I shouldn't play this game, but it does look really fun, though. It does look really fun. Maybe you're looking to get a private server for us lot. Yeah, maybe we get a private server for us. Is this going to be our Christmas thing? We'll have an ARK thing. It runs like a potato. Yeah, I mean, maybe we get a PG private server. We'll talk to Paul. He knows what's going on there. It's just so janky. Guys, we played fucking the original Deus Ex this year and Skyrim. I do not fear the jank, my friends. I do not fear the jank. Like, I climbed a skyscraper by attaching grenades to a side of a wall for like 25 minutes. Embrace the jank. It's all part of the fun. It felt good to push back, but sadly Nancy's Claw crew was defeated. And with our defeat and only one real tribe remaining, the season was brought to a close. But that does, of course, bring us to the final season I was there. Compared to the last few, this one was pretty tame, but it rounds out the entire experience. We decided this time, no more violence, no more killing, backstabbing, war. Even the arena days were just too much effort for us now. So we decided that it might be fun if we role-played humble swamp folk. How did you land on that? Like, did you spin a fucking board or a wheel or something? Humble swamp folk. Specifically, I was going to be Swamp Kid that would run around in a yellow hat and used an annoying southern accent in voice comms. I know it sounds stupid, Mikes, but I want to paint you the picture IRL. I was playing Ark a lot, and I mean, like, degenerate a lot. I was still living with my parents at the time, commuting to college by day and playing Ark the second I stopped being at college. I was now around 20 years old, and the image of a grown man being a swamp boy doing a swamp child voice alone in his bedroom, I admit now, was a little embarrassing. What made it worse is my little brother was taking the piss out of me while I was doing it, and even to this day, my little brother still roasts the shit out of me for what he heard me say in my bedroom. And I think it's fair. This is fair. This is totally fair. But I have to tell you, it was really fun at the time, so fuck him. I had a good time. In our swamp, we made a big dinosaur trailer park where we would rent out lots to the other server members, building them their own little dino trailers. By now, we've been playing with the same people for so long that it became a really sweet social spot to just come and hang out in our swamp. We tamed giant frogs and bounced around the swamp like lunatics, only occasionally dying to giant mega snakes. The vibes were on point. My character had an ongoing bit. He was obsessed with hunting down a mythical creature, his version of Bigfoot. I even made a fan club for it online. I called the beast Fishman Swamp. Half fish, half man, half swamp. It was total nonsense. Obviously, it wasn't real and wasn't in the game, but everyone played along. We would run around the swamp pretending to search. You were 20 doing this. So you're 20 and you're running around the swamp being a swamp kid pretending to search for a fictional swamp beast that everyone knows doesn't exist. Boomer take? I'm okay with that. That's fair. I'm just going to say, if I find my kids doing it, I'm going to be very unimpressed. I've got them both working through little nightmares at the moment, but I would be very unimpressed. Now, we were having a ton of fun running around the swamp, pretending to search for it, until I convinced one of my friends to join the server and actually play Fishman Swamp. Oh no. Did outside eyes come in? Uh-oh. Wait, what are you doing? One night, we're lurking around the willow trees, squelching through the mud and batting away mosquitoes, when out of the darkness, my friend came sprinting and screaming like a banshee. No one could believe it. I hadn't warned anyone, and the Fishman Swamp joke had been going on for weeks. It was hilarious, and the ensuing wild goose chase was even better. He said he had seen it, and the hunt was now on. We spent the entire night chasing through the swamp. Oh, he's the Fishman Swamp. Oh, he's pretending to be the swamp beast. It's a good friend. We spent the entire night chasing him through the swamp. Eventually, we caught my friend and put him in a cage and gawked at him until, well, you know, we had to do what had to be done and put him down. This did put an end to our game, as we had now not only caught the elusive Moby Dick, but we also had put him down. It was so fun. The rest of the season was low-key. Some little tribe dramas here and there, sure, but mostly cool builds, cool dinosaurs, and chill times. And when the server eventually reset for the next season, I realized that I was done with it. Ark was wild. Is it a good game? No. I don't want anybody listening to this to think that Ark is a good game. It's not. Not really. But with the right people, the right server, and the right time and setting, it could be fucking glorious. Then again, isn't that the case with most online games? Absolutely true. Most people leave all these MMOs when their friends leave. As long as the game's got a decent enough foundation to have fun, you're good. If anything, Ark was the game that taught me it's really about the people you play with. It may sound cheesy, but I know everyone here understands what I'm saying. People make the game special. From doing nefarious shit, chasing imaginary creatures through a mosquito-infested swamp. At the end of the day, we do it all for fun. And I had a fucking blast. That is the end of my little tale, friends. I hope you all enjoyed listening to my trip down memory lane. And from my villain arc to my time as a young mud boy, don't be a young mud boy. That sounds dirty. It was a hell of a ride. Again, I want everybody to remember, Rip Tammy. We're still thinking of you in our dreams. Very nice. Very, very nice. You see, that story did tempt me to play, but I happen to think if we get a PG community server and we give it a time limit, because we've been waiting on Eco now for 3 years. I think that's accurate, right? Old heads, we've been waiting on Eco for 3 years to do Project Eco, and it's just never going to be finished, that game. Yeah. It's never... Ad Finum still lives. Ad Finum still lives. Maybe Ark is something we could do something with and have a blast. Because I imagine some of you might want to join me, and then some of you might want to join another team. Let's put it that way, right? Let's put it that way. Some of you might want to join a different team, a counter team. Let's do the update. Yeah, we got like 10 minutes left. So let's do this, because we do like it when our authors follow up on our stories. Certainly ones that have been told, especially ones where we had questions. So this is a response we got. I believe it was last week's tale, which was wholesome, about a guy who loved a girl. A guy who loved a girl. And that girl made some choices. Let's put it that way. Made some choices that were not great. Not great. Let's put it that way. And he still felt bad by the end of it. He still felt bad because it was going to potentially be our author's first girlfriend. We never forget our first. Yeah, that fits good. And the title was Girls Only Discord. Yes, so we did have I believe it was Lame One was running the Girls Only Discord for his own sandal pushing ways. Yeah, I remember. Is this the harem? Yes. A Discord where guys weren't welcome, but the idea was that Lame One, the Discord runner, was protecting these girls from the dangers of online men who are all predators, right? And it was up to him to defend the fair agenda because he was such a hero, right? The girls needed it. The girls need. Ew, yeah, it was. If you didn't listen to it, it was really gross. All right, let's see. Mike, Chat, or Bex, or whoever. I used the names that were used during the original telling of the story that was aired, so no need to change those unless you want to. Reading my story did help me heal a lot, as it should have. Yeah, and it honestly made me feel great about letting it all off my chest. Indeed, it does. I don't really want to say where I'm from exactly, but I'm from the Middle East. There are a few things I discovered after sending in my story. Like this, I always worry about responses because some of you type some heinous shit. Really judgmental. I, as the judge and final administrator of the decisions that we make here, of course, I'm unbiased and take things and weigh both sides. But you guys, not great. Not great. Jump to conclusions. Yes, especially that Sunshine person. Judgmental is what I would say. Keep an eye out. There are a few things that I learned and discovered after sending my story back in March. Oh, it was all the way back in March. So yeah, I just want to point this out while we're doing this update. If you send us a story and it's like, dude, I sent it last week and it's not on the show yet, that's okay. Like, Bex organizes and sorts them. She looks for themes and things like that. So really don't think you'll never get there, right? Really don't think it'll never get there. And I think this will add context to the whole situation and also some extra context regarding what happened with all the weirdness that took place in my story. P.S. Regarding the virgin thing, he kept talking to me about being a virgin for a month, which is why I told him that I'm also a virgin and it doesn't matter. Yeah, he kept bringing up that he was a virgin to you, right? Which was really uncalled for. Yeah, it's like, who asked, bro? Like, really, who asked? Yeah, like, genuinely, like, who asked? I would like to add some context to Razor Gimpy. She kept mentioning that she needed and wanted money to buy games to play with Lame One. She asked for money to buy games to play with another guy. Bruh. Bruh. That's really cold, dude. He's in. That's really cold, bro. Like, I don't know about that one. Oh, you bought a games to play with another guy. At some point, I gifted her Janthea Wilds because she talked about not being able to afford it. Now, why did I do this, you might ask? She reminded me that there was a time that I wasn't able to afford games as a kid, and I know how bad it feels. So now that I have a wonderful job and career, I would buy games for my nephews and decided to buy it for her. Her mentioning the topic of money a lot is what made it a huge turn-off for me afterwards. Okay, I mean, I've gifted games to people. It's fine. In regards of Seraphim. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you didn't catch the last story, I'll bring you up to speed a little bit. The girl we were actually chasing was Seraphim, and they went on a date, and she cried at the date. And, yeah. In regards to Seraphim, in total, she cried 3 separate times during our date. 3 separate times. Red flag? Red alert, motherfucker. Red flag? Fucking all hands on deck, shields up 3 separate times? Like you fucking smooth it out? Red flag? Jesus Christ, man. We're changing the fucking bulb on that one. She cried 3 separate times during our date, in which I honestly tried my best to cheer her up, and she was happy the entire time, which led to the holding of hands and hanging out more. We had a chance, and that's what we thought we had a chance of having a relationship. I admit that. Her being friends with Lame One is what made me not want to pursue it, and being afraid of the shit that could happen. Yeah, correct. That's a good choice. Basically, Lame One, as a Discord server admin, that highly prestigious role, knew a lot about her personal life during his interviews and consecutive talks with her. I feel like Lame One has a portfolio on all the girls. I feel like he has a folder with the documents so he can refer back to his notes, right? You feel like he's got files. I don't think he's making a hard copy, like in a binder. But I feel like he's the kind of guy who's got files, right? You know what I mean? He would regularly use the information that he gathered in these talks. Is this like Scientology, right? Isn't this what Scientology does? They make you do that fucking... that finger shit. And then they write all the shit down about you. And then they like throw it back in your face later for manipulative purposes. And that's what I've seen in the documentaries and shit. Like Scientology does that, right? They audit you. That's it. The finger shit. They make you put your fingers in the fucking magic box thing. And then they audit you where you have to tell them all your private shit. Something like that. I'm not religious. Fucking... I don't read. There you go. And he would use that information about her bad exes, i.e. the cheating, abuse, etc., as if I was one of those people, because all men are like that. All of us? Like, there's a lot of successful relationships on this planet, right? There's quite a few that are not like that. Like, generally, there's a lot. Yeah, classic men just fucking out there, just cheating. There's a fair few. If you look at the planet as a whole, there's quite a few that have worked out, historically speaking. Just all men, all men are pigs. Fuck it. Which is what led to a complete meltdown reaction towards me. For the investment part, I meant someone to date, to marry. I did specify that in person. You told her that if you were going to invest time in a relationship that it was about marriage? Bruh, that's heavy. Was she crying when you told her this? That's a lot. That's kind of heavy. You should definitely spend more time with people before committing to spending the rest of your life with them. It does work sometimes, though. I told her that in person. I did see her as marriage material after she gave me banana bread.
Excuse me?
I mean, I'm not lying, Chris. You can read it here. To be fair, you got to remember, our guy had no time spent with girls or kind people. Seemingly.
I guess. I don't care how good that banana bread is.
I mean, it might be some really good fucking banana bread, dude.
Like, there is no banana bread on this planet that good.
But a sticky toffee pudding, though.
Jam roly-poly, maybe.
Yeah, if it's a roly-poly.
I'm not saying there's no foodstuffs that might make you want to put a ring on it.
Yeah.
I'm saying it ain't banana bread.
Banana bread is nice, though. Banana bread is good. Not Raven shit that he cooks in a rice cooker like some terrorist. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. I was interested in marriage, and I genuinely had no interest in the getting laid thing. Really? Just the banana bread? This is why I think I'm a caveman, man, because sex trumps banana bread for me on most occasions. Not all. If Emma offers one of the two, 9 times out of 10, I'm going one way. But on that 10th time, that banana bread be looking real good, you know? Yeah, why not both? Why not have sex and then have banana bread? During my flight to Iceland, I met an old lady in the plane and I told her about Seraphim and that I liked her. She told me to go for it and tell her that you like her. I did when I met her for the 3rd time in Austria, but things fell off because of Lamont, obviously. Sex and banana bread. Not at the same time, though. That's going to put crumbs in places you don't want crumbs. That's like beach sex. Beach sex is not a good place to be. Fuck that.
No, what's the sandy badge?
No, like, beach sex is a complete con. Fuck that. I found out later on that the girl who invited me to their Discord is potentially cheating on her husband with a guy in that Discord. Everyone's fucking via Discord and no one's actually getting laid. I had met both of them in Poland and they would talk about it, and all they talked about was wanting to fuck each other. They would get drunk together late at night and sleep at his place, and she told me not to tell anybody about it. Oh, no. Poland, it's all going on in Poland, dude. Banana bread, fucking cheating. It's all happening over there. She had also been in Seraphim's ear about a lot of things. I mean, you can't let a woman who's cheating on her husband talk to your girl, man. Like, that's bad juju. That's bad voodoo. You don't want that. And what made it weird is she was trying to convince Seraphim to date the guy that she was cheating on her husband with. Oh, she's trying to set up the 4-way dance. It's a bold play. It's a bold play. Hey, what's that girl's trying to get a party going. Yeah, she's trying to get a fucking party going. She thinks, oh, that's a move. That's a move. She's trying to get a party going. I don't know where they are now, Mike. I don't know if they're dating or whatever. But whenever I mentioned Seraphim, the guy would feel shame, as Seraphim also had mentioned that she likes me to them. Yeah, she's playing for the Eiffel Tower. The guy did contact me at one point and had no interest to say what's right, as he showed me his true intentions were not to clear anything up, but rather to pursue whatever he wanted. Now, Mike, I took that guy with me to Norway and I paid for the trip. You're too generous, man. In fact, I paid for all their meals because I live a very tough life. I grew up poor and did my best to turn my life around. High fives, brother. I'm very grateful for what I have right now. Yeah, just don't it's nothing wrong with being generous. I try and be as generous as I possibly can be, but you just make sure you don't get advantage taken of you, that's all. I started working since I was 17, from being a cleaner, cashier at a restaurant, worked in a hospital for a year, saved 2 lives giving CPR to 2 kids, worked as a truck and bus driver and repaired PCs for a living during uni. What a legend. There's a fine line, yeah. Like, most people I've cut out of my life, which is very few, thankfully, are people who definitely tried to take advantage or did take advantage of my generosity. Like, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to do what I can. But, yeah, if people are just always want more, ain't no way. Asking being funny if you don't give them what they want. Fuck that. I currently adopt stray cats and take care of them until I find owners for them. I've saved nearly 50 cats. See, I was really starting to like you. And then it just went off a cliff. Real shame. Like, real shame. You know what I mean? I was very, like, sympathetic. Like, I would like to meet you, talk to you. But now, I don't know. I've saved nearly 50 cats in the last 3 years, and I'm fucking proud of it. I told myself if I ever make some cash, I'll do good in this world, and I am. So fuck those people for being insecure about themselves towards me and making me judge myself. Yeah, fuck those guys. I know he won't like this, but I have provided pictures of the cats. I guess I have to show pictures of the cats. Can I enlarge cats? Okay. Here, you can have a glimpse at cats. To our audio listeners, it's a worse picture of dogs. If you can imagine a dog, but just like lesser than, you know. And they're just kind of lay around, not doing anything, staring at you judgmentally, basically just asking where's food. You know what it is. It's cats, right? They're all the same. You get it. The cutest thing in the world. I bet that is a loud room when they start meowing. Yeah. Mike, I'm just putting this there as a little lesson that I learned from this whole thing. If you meet someone online who asks you your name and anything personal, they want something from you. Oh, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that can be part of casual conversation, certainly in modern era. I'd be cautious who you tell information to and how personal it is, but I don't think... I mean, first names is generally fine. I don't think that's necessarily true. What Lane One used to do was talk to the girls, ask them their name and share his, then get them to share their personal life with him. He would use that against them to build trust and make them believe that he's only... Manipulative people. Yeah. Sadly. Yeah. I learned that Nanalil left the Discord because she had a huge misunderstanding with him, and I believe that he had a reason in what happened to her personal life, as he wouldn't shut up about her to Seraphim or the people in the Discord in general, and how he tried to talk to her ex-husband to fix things. The lesson here is don't trust Lame One more than anything. I want to thank you, Mike, for listening and the small update about my story. It meant a lot to me, and I specifically want to thank an FF14 streamer, ex-owner Sice Veeks, as his drama videos about a creep in 14 is what made me fully realize that Lame One is an actual creep while I was hanging out with them. Never heard of him. Yeah, in brackets it says Balder Canty. I remember this guy like cringing around me actually at FanFest asking for an autograph. I took a picture with him like as a favor. But like, you know what I mean? I did that with a lot of people. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know how it be. You know how it be when people asking. Which played into part of what made me feel the ick when I was there. I hope this answered a lot of the questions that you had throughout the story or clarifications about the whole thing, and that is the chapter of my life has taught me a lot. Oh no, it was wonderful. Your story generally, I think, resonated with a lot of people, as I said last week. I think it was bald. It was a wonderful story, and I hope one day maybe you could come over to PreachCon or something like that. We could say hi and catch up and do all those kind of things. But yeah, don't mistrust everybody. Just be wary that there are bastards out there. But there's less bastards than there is good people, is what I would say. We probably encounter 1,000 good people, and the one bad one is the one we remember, because they're a fucker. Dates when? Dates will be in January. That's when we're doing it. As I explained to Bex in our team meeting this week, do not ask me about PreachCon dates every fucking day. Found a bastard. You did. Well, I am going to the gym, my friends. I've had one of the most amazingly fun gaming weeks we've had in ages. Yakuza, a big shout out to my team who put us onto Yakuza. It was their choice. So to Bex, Nups, Edram, and Chris, who selected Yakuza, and I gave them the okay to choose a game. They made a good choice. It has been phenomenal. I cannot wait for Monday. No weekend stream. We're actually really busy this weekend because it's our end of year stuff coming up, which is as events for you guys. Yeah, you guys certainly more regular people here have some stuff coming up for you to take part in. No details yet because it's currently being developed and worked on right now. So when we're ready to, when we're doing test runs of it to make sure it works is what we're doing. We're doing test runs of the thing before we give it to you guys to have fun with. But we haven't got PreachCon this year, but that doesn't mean we don't have something for you this year. So you'll have to wait and see a little bit longer because it's an effort to make it work correctly. But once it works, it should be good. So other than that, I will see you all Monday. Have a wonderful time. And I can't wait to see you Monday where we'll carry on. Now school's out.